Unsolved, a Nancy Drew production.
Tonight's episode, Ralph Heatley fooled them all. Ralph Heatley was born on July 8th, 1921 in Fort Worth, Texas, and he served in the United States Navy from 1942 to 1945. Here, looking at the 1940 United States Census, you can see his family, his father Charles and his mother Alice, his older brother Charles Jr., and his younger brother Hershell. Here you can see his registration card for the military and his odd writing style, and his signature with his 13 letters. And here on the back you can see his physical description. White, 5 foot 9.5 inches tall, 185 pounds, eyes gray, hair brown, complexion light. Here is the marriage record of William Henry Robbins and Maisie Jones. And during this marriage, Rebecca would be born. But this marriage would dissolve and each parent would remarry. Maisie would remarry Mr. Kitchens, and you can see from this census that Rebecca is listed as a stepdaughter in 1940. And by 1950, Rebecca married Charles Stinsel. And they had a daughter, Charlene. And Charlene was born on November 28th, 1947. And you can see from this that her mother's maiden name was Robbins. And looking at the death notice for Ralph Heatley, you can see that he married Rebecca Ann Robbins on July 28th, 1961 in Juarez, New Mexico. And I think that's a mistake. I think it's Juarez, Mexico, because there is no Juarez, New Mexico. And from this California marriage record, you can see that they were married again on July 28th, 1966. But you could see that they had been married for 5 years at that point. And you can see from this notice that when Rebecca's daughter, Charlene, from her first marriage, got married in 1965, her mother's name was Rebecca Heatley from Covina, west of Riverside, California. Now, Ralph Marshall Heatley died in 1980, and he left California in 1978 and moved to Idaho, and that's where he's buried. The last location that I could find Ralph living in was Palm Springs, California, in Riverside County in 1977 and 1978. He could have been there earlier. Well, I know what you're thinking. What about the San Francisco Bay Area? Remember Hershell? Ralph's younger brother? Well, he was in the military also. And when he got out of the military, he lived in Alameda, California. And here's a picture of Hershell, Ralph's younger brother. Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and next week I'll give you a little more details about old Ralph Heatley, O-R-H. So I'll see you next week.